Hello everyone, we are the creators of Care Plus, an app created to aid caregivers for the elderly. I, Faith, and my team, Effa, Howling, Delphi, and Hui San, will bring to you the process of how we created this app and why it will bring tremendous aid to your caregiving journey.
At the initial stage of our stakeholder process, we conducted individual stakeholder interviews to gather further insights on our stakeholders. Through our interviews with family caregivers, healthcare providers, and also volunteers, we were able to garner their input, thoughts, and perspectives regarding the elderly population. These interviews helped us to understand their concerns, expectations, and also level of involvement. We then carefully analyzed the stakeholder data from the interviews and categorized them based on their level of interest and influence on the issue on a stakeholder map. Considering their level of interest, influence, and the importance of their input on the situation, we then came to a conclusion that family caregivers are a key stakeholder. This is because family caregivers have the highest influence and interest when it comes to the elderly population. Now, I'll pass it to Faith to explain further.
Thank you, Effa. Family caregivers are essential stakeholders in healthcare systems, and their influence and interests are indeed high due to several reasons. So we'll cover a total of 4 main points, breaking them into how they have high interest and high involvement. First and foremost, emotional investment and direct care provisions are key factors of high interest. Deep emotional interest comes from family caregivers having a deep emotional connection with the elderly, as the well-being and quality of care for their loved one is of utmost importance to them, making them highly interested in healthcare decisions as well as outcomes. Next, direct care provision. Caregivers are actively involved in providing daily care, including administering medications, monitoring symptoms, and assisting with activities of daily living. Their interest in the patient's health is hands-on and constant. On to high influence factors, the role of being an advocate as well as their decision-making authority. With the high involvement and extensive knowledge of the elderly's needs, caregivers often act as advocates for their loved ones within the healthcare system. They communicate patients' needs, preferences, and concerns to healthcare professionals, influencing the decisions and care plans tremendously. Lastly, their decision-making authority. In many cases, caregivers are legally and ethically involved in decision-making processes. In many cases, this is crucial as elderly's ability to make decisions are sometimes compromised due to illness or medication. This is when caregivers step in to make informed decisions, resulting in their influence being significant, such as treatment options, surgeries, or seeking additional support to care for the elderly. Now, Effa will tell you more about the insights from a caregiver's perspective.
Family caregivers often face a range of challenging issues and obstacles when caring for a loved one. Based on our interviews, we found out that family caregivers often feel isolated and lack the support they need. This can include a lack of assistance from other family members, friends, or healthcare professionals. Many wish that more help or aid would be offered to them to ease their daily activities of caregiving. When it comes to communication, a new set of problems may rise. Many elderly face hearing or speech impairment. Repeatedly having to repeat or raise one's voice when attempting to communicate can be frustrating for both the caregiver and the elderly person, and this may lead to tension and stress for both parties. Lastly, family caregivers often face challenges when they want to acquire new skills and knowledge to better care for their loved ones. This can include financial constraints, time constraints, and also the lack of availability of such resources. Additionally, some might not even be aware of the resources, programs, or training opportunities available to them. This is why we are here with a solution to provide assistance to them to lighten their workload on a daily basis. Howling would then explain further on how.
In the next 2 slides, we'll be talking about Care Plus, which will be the solution to the business problem. Firstly, the communication aid is a tool to modify communication and provide verbal cues between the elderly and caregivers. This function will offer pictorial aids, word prompts, text-to-speech capabilities, and translation services. It aims to assist the elderly who have difficulty expressing themselves. This ensures that essential information is conveyed and understood effectively, therefore enhancing caregiving experience and well-being. Next, we have care coordination and transport services, which merges the features of apps to conveniently book transportation and medical appointments for the elderly. This helps simplify the work needed to transfer the elderly to their required location and reduce waiting time. Caregiver Communicating and Help platform allows caregivers to share their personal experience and advise and layman their emotional stress. AI-driven chatbots are also included in this function, whereby they can provide answers to common caregiver questions and concerns when prompted by the user. Lastly, the personalized calendar shows important upcoming schedules such as medical appointments. There's a notification function to remind family caregivers and their family members of this event so that they can keep track of and distribute workload and responsibilities amid their busy lives. Next, the objective of this application revolves around simplifying the daily responsibilities of caregivers with the previously mentioned four essential features. Caregivers will benefit significantly from this application as it streamlines transportation and appointment scheduling while providing them access to help via the community forum. Our prototype includes caregivers in testing design concepts and gathering the feedback during the early stages of development to reduce the time and cost. Our initial step involves creating a low-fidelity paper prototype that outlines the functions, features, layout, and sizes intended for the application. Finally, a high-fidelity prototype with full functionality can be done to showcase the four core features. It includes features such as login pages, screen transition, notifications, and sound interactions to offer an interactive experience for caregivers. This application will then be sent for review so that we are able to refine and iterate it. Now I'll pass the time to Delphi.
Thank you, Holling. So why should caregivers choose Care Plus? The three main reasons are: firstly, it fulfills caregivers' needs; secondly, it is easily accessible; and lastly, it is sustainable. Our app integrates multiple features together, which is convenient and simple to use, while also providing support that is indispensable to caregivers. Caregivers' stress levels are reduced through this support, allowing them to better focus on providing care and maintaining their well-being. As mentioned previously by Holling, the Care Plus app functions as a user-friendly tool that helps to streamline the caregiving process. Next, we also use tools like the Scamper mapping, which abbreviation is substitute, combine, adapt, modify, put to use, eliminate, and reverse. The use of the Scamper mapping tool is to ensure efficient brainstorming of our ideas for possible solutions. It allowed us to analyze the problem from different perspectives by asking questions and exploring different aspects of the problem. It stimulates creativity, prompts innovation, and reframes the problem statement, which is useful for our real-world application. This tool enhances decision-making, thus helping us derive our solution of an app. Next, we'll be moving on to Huisan.
Thank you, Delphi. Another tool used to justify our solution is the three lenses of HCD. This tool ensures the solution aligns with objectives and is rational. How desirable the solution is for caregivers, how feasible it is for caregivers, and how viable for businesses to implement it. While exploring other possible solutions like smart homes and mobility aids, an app, Care Plus, emerged as the most practical choice when we applied the three lenses of HCD. Desirability focuses on creating a solution that satisfies caregivers' wants and needs. They need help, support, and work-life balance. By fulfilling these needs, this inspired us to develop an app that resonates with their desires. Care Plus is not just a practical tool. It is a companion built with empathy at its core. It is a heartfelt response to the needs of family caregivers. In creating Care Plus, we didn't just sympathize with caregivers. We felt their fatigue, stress, and love. Next, we have feasibility. It examines whether our solution is technically and economically viable. With unlimited access to technology and resources, It is an opportunity for us to use it to create innovative solutions like CarePlus. It will be available in the App Store for free. It is designed to reach as many caregivers as possible with the use of technology to ensure its accessibility. CarePlus is a bridge that connects caregivers to support and resources that were once out of reach. Lastly, viability ensures that our solutions can be sustained over a long term. CarePlus is not a short-term fix. It is a long-term solution that evolves with caregivers' changing needs. CarePlus also aligns seamlessly with the mission of the Singapore Red Cross. It extends the SRC's reach and impact through technology, amplifying its ability to make a difference in the lives of caregivers. The app is designed for both Android and iOS platforms, ensuring accessibility to a wider user base. In conclusion, CarePlus is more than just an app. It is a lifeline for family caregivers and the elderly they care for. It is designed to meet their needs while aligning with SRC's mission. Together, we can make a significant impact on the lives of caregivers and the elderly, promoting a more caring and supportive community. Thank you for your time and attention.